It's me, Oscar, and today I'm playing FNAF 1. But...
And Jess is here too.
And what are you doing?
Today I'm going to be reading Five Nights at Freddy's, an interactive novel.
Week before. So I'll be playing FNAF and she'll be reading FNAF. Let's go.
Let's go.
You read out loud, Jess. You gotta know what the heck you're doing. Also, ignore a little light if you can see it. And look at the camera. Yeah, there we go.
You are Ralph, working security at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. It is your dream job. At least that's what you told them in the interview. You've been there so long, the relentlessly cheerful animatronic characters feel like old friends. You love how their antics...
Not you. Hold on. I forgot that I had unlimited power. Yeah, that's how I got hacking up custom. I just cheated. But I don't really care. Keep reading.
This place creates happy family memories, and you help make that possible. But all good things must come to an end, and it's time to move on while you still can. This is your last week. You've always worked the day shift, but after a sudden staff vacancy and temporary closure, management has asked you to take the night shift for a change. Letting them down is never an option.
Or is it?
Freddy, Bana, Chica, and Foxy are Fazbear Entertainment's biggest assets. Your duty is to protect them and the restaurant's reputation. Your contract calls it, quote, a matter of life and death. You've heard rumors that the animatronics get somewhat lively after hours, but no one's better equipped to handle than you, 22-time Employee of the Month. As night watchman, you'll face many choices that lead to various outcomes. If you find an item that might help you do your job, write it down for later. Now, for your first big decision, do you want to play on easy difficulty, or do you want to play on normal difficulty?
I'd go with normal.
We're going to play as normal tonight and go only with our wits as we turn to page
That's what I did.
Yeah, I was going to do that too.
Again, I will not sway your decisions. I will only suggest.
Okay,
Again, I've already read this book. If I
Well,
did that,
yeah.
I'd just be doing it again, basically.
The security office at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza is practically a second home. You've spent so much of your time here over your career. Probably too much time, cooped up in a glorified closet, staring at a buzzing, flickering monitor until your eyes dry out. But everyone's got to make a living, and you have an 11-year-old daughter, Capulia, to provide for. You often feel like the only thing you're good at is protecting others, even at your own expense. The office is always dark, since there aren't any outside windows. But somehow at night, it still manages to give you the creeps. You're probably just spooked because you're all alone in the restaurant, aside from Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy.
Oh?
Animatronics aren't fantastic conversationalists, but
I doubt they are.
And they sing and dance. Of course, you've been known to do other things. Rumor is they've become strangely aggressive lately. But surely those glitches were ironed out or they wouldn't have reopened this place. Not that customers have exactly been flocking back just yet. After the restaurant closes and everyone is gone, the animatronics enter roaming mode and walk around to prevent their servos from locking up. Your servos from locking up. Your heavy footsteps echoing out there now. Turn to page 3.
I do that.
If animatronics encounter you in the restaurant at night, they should ignore you. But your safest bet is to stay here in the office until 6 a.m.
That is correct.
When they return to the stage, enter sleep mode and recharge. Then you can go home. Management cares about their employees, and it's time-consuming and expensive to hire and train new ones. Not to mention the occasional legal fees and the hassle of covering up accidents. So they installed reinforced doors on either side of the office. In the unlikely event that an animatronic visits you here, you can open and shut the east and west doors by pressing the big red buttons.
Yep.
In the door.
Bonnie comes down west, Chica comes down east.
The light switches below them illuminates the east and west halls outside of your office, so you can see whether it's anything out there. Surviving the night probably seems like a low bar for a job, but this isn't just about collecting a check. You may have to venture out of the office from time to time.
You have to survive and make your thrive.
The animatronics are clumsy and mindless naturally. If they break something out there,
really?
you have to go fix it and clean up the mess right away, so the restaurant is ready to open, just in case any customers show up. Think of the children. Of course, your number one concern is making sure nothing happens.
Yep.
To Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica. Oh, and don't forget Foxy. Turn to page 4. Wow, there he is. There he is. Looking at us.
Anyway, I won't be talking that much. Jess kind of has the show stage with the talking. I'm just here to try and play the game. I don't want to interrupt her.
There are 3 security monitors on the desk, but 2 of them are always on the fritz. Replacing them would let you see more, but you guess management spent the money on those doors instead. Use the control panel in front of you to switch to one working display. Nice. To feeds from various cameras around the restaurant.
Just ignore that. It doesn't exist.
Second night.
Yeah.
You check the stage first. Your heart pounds when you see Bonnie and Chica are gone. So that's who you heard walking around the restaurant. Freddy's just hanging out there on his own.
Still correct. Yep, that's you. Harried.
Anyway, keep going. End up going to talk.
Yes, obviously.
Okay. You check the stage first. Okay, the brown bear is dapper as always in his black top hat and bow tie. You're glad they restored the vintage animatronic with his classic look. Freddy doesn't wonder much, as if he's above all that just because he's the star of the show. Or maybe he's saving his energy for something. I'm the star of the show, you tell yourself as you switch over to the Pirate Cove camera. Foxy is shy. The curtains are drawn.
Yep.
So he must still be back there. Before you locate Bonnie and Chica, you discover a situation that demands immediate attention. The lights in the men's restroom are out. You must replace the light bulbs before you shift in, and it's better to do so later than sooner.
It does look dark in there.
It does look dark in there.
Anyway.
Okay, so are we going to inspect the desk, exit through the door on the left, exit through the door on the right, or check the cameras?
Be smart about this, Ralph. Make the right choice.
Inspect the desk?
I don't know.
Check the cameras, I say.
That's a smart move. Check the hallways.
It's always a good idea to check the monitors to see where the animatronics are
See.
at any given time, especially if you're thinking about leaving the office. You quickly click through the camera feed. Freddy is on the stage, but he's moved since the last time you looked in on him. He's facing the camera now, his eyes seemingly gazing into your soul.
What?
No. He's looking at you through the camera, seemingly to say, I know that you're watching. You shudder. Who watches the watcher? White eyes peer from behind the curtain in Pirate Cove and then blink out. Not so fast, Foxy. You can't find Chica anywhere, but the camera in the kitchen has been broken for a while. It only picks up audio. No video. Something is in there, rattling pots and pans and banging cabinet doors. The giant yellow chicken has a voracious appetite. Sounds like she's a bit peckish and looking for a midnight snack. Bonnie,
I
where's
smell
Bonnie?
pizza.
There, in the West Hall, heading toward the security office. So now we have to exit through the door on the left, or you have to exit through the door on your right. And Bonnie was just coming down the hallway. So which direction do you want to turn?
Well, look at which hallway Bonnie visits. What does that say, Jess? On the screen. I'll help you.
West Hall.
So we go East Hall.
Okay.
That's where Bonnie lives. Bonnie is the west.
So we turn
Yeah.
left or right?
Left. No, right. I'm sorry.
Okay. I told you before, I don't know.
Wait, this is left, right?
Yeah.
So we go right.
Okay.
Can you please move your flashlight?
There we go. The restrooms are located on the east side of the restaurant, so you head through the door on your right. You glance at the rules for safety posters as you exit the security office. You don't know why they're posted in this corner where kids shouldn't be anyway. The rules certainly don't apply to you, especially number 8. Leave before dark.
Yeah.
You laugh nervously. The hallway is decorated with cheerful stars and a checkerboard stripe matching the floor tiles. But the dim light from the lone fixture overhead makes the fading decor seem almost sinister, especially the vintage character posters for posters for Chica, Freddy, and Bonnie. What was that? I thought you heard something, but it was far off, a clanking sound, maybe from the kitchen. The kind of sound a 6-foot-tall animatronic chicken might make if it knocked a metal pot off a counter. Pot! I can never say that. If you knocked a metal pot off a counter. You pause and strain your ears to listen, but you hear nothing more. You reach the dining area. An overhead light illuminates 6 long tables already prepped for a party, with confetti tablecloths and party hats lined up. You start to make your way to the restrooms, but you freeze at the sound of slow, heavy footsteps. Sloth-like footsteps. Okay, we're gonna hide under a table, hurry toward the bathroom, or knock over a table as a distraction. Now, I got it wrong last time, so I chose last time if you knock over a table. So, Oscar, you have to help me.
No, I won't. You just know one of them isn't correct.
I'm gonna hurry towards the bathroom. This time. Please don't let it get me. Oh no! I got it wrong again. You don't like being
Describe to
open.
death.
You make it to the restroom. You can try and block the door to keep the animatronics out while we replace the light bulbs. You race toward the restroom, the rubber soles of your shoes squeaking on the red and blue vinyl tiles. But remember, the animatronics are surprisingly fast when they want to be. You only make it halfway across the dining area before powerful yellow arms grab you from behind. Your blood-curdling scream drowns out the whir of animatronic servos and cracking bones. Game over. Alright, so now we're going to go back and we're going to do the first option. Oh, hide under a table.
Foxy's singing.
Yes. You scramble under a table and lie on your stomach, peering out from under the tablecloth. Now you feel the vibrations of footsteps as well as hear them. They plod toward the dining area. The animatronic would be moving faster if it knew your location. If you make a break for it and stay low behind the tables, you might be able to reach the restrooms without being spotted. Or you can cower here silently and hope for whoever it is moves on soon. Keep waiting, hurry towards the bathroom, or if you have the bonus item, you may use it on page 46.
We do not have the bonus item.
So I have to keep waiting.
Yeah.
Page 12.
Worked out for me.
Okay. They say discretion is the better part of valor, so you keep hiding and waiting. Definitely not because you're too scared to budge. The footsteps cease, and you wonder if the animatronic is waiting for you. You clamp a hand over your mouth and count the dried, pale wads of gum stuck to the bottom of the table. 7. Gross.
It was the bite of 87.
After several minutes, which seem more like an hour, you're pretty sure the coast is clear. From your vantage point on the floor, you don't see any oversized animal feet in your immediate vicinity. It's time to make your move. If you head straight to the restroom, turn to page 13. If you check the tabletop first, turn to page 14. I'm going to check the second one. I'm nervous. Check the tabletop. You crawl out from under the table and grab it to pull yourself up. Your legs are a bit shaky. There isn't a lot on the table. The flimsy white tablecloth is decorated with colorful confetti. It's disposable, so after a party, the staff can just scoop up all the plates, food scraps, and other detritus and toss it all into a garbage bag. It's wasteful, but faster and cheaper than having to launder dozens of fabric tablecloths post-children's birthday parties every single day. 5 pointed party hats with different colored stripes are lined up in the middle of the table. Something shiny catches your eye. A foiled gum wrapper. You sigh and slip it into a pocket to discard later. People just leave their trash wherever they feel like it. This wouldn't have happened in the old days when working at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza was a badge of honor. The franchise has truly fallen on hard times, thanks to those pernicious rumors about missing kids and lingering bad press from the bite of 87. If only the victim could tell what he did to provoke that attack. But he doesn't talk anymore. Or do much else. So the press completely blew the incident out of proportion. And the place hasn't been the same since. It makes it a little easier for you to be moving on. Are you going to be a model employee right up to the end? Add gum rubber to your inventory.
Where's Bonavins?
You step into the men's restroom and shut the door. The antiseptic scent of bleach still pervades the air, which is far from the worst thing you whiffed in there. You try to look around, but it's too dark with both lights out. That's why you're here. What are the odds that 2 bulbs would burn out at the same time? Maybe there was some kind of power surge. After all, the wiring in this building is ancient. That's probably why the cameras always glitch, and monitors in the security office keep overloading. That might have explained some of the strange behavior exhibited by the animatronics. Unless... You shake your head. You're in the dark when it comes to that stuff. In this case, literally. Just focus on your job, you think. Focus on getting home to Capelia.
Do you see him dress?
No. Oh yeah, in the back? 2 eyeballs?
Freddy Fazbear.
Oh my gosh. Everything else is way above your pay grade. Okay, if you replace the first light bulb, turn to page 15. If you listen at the door...
I didn't have enough power.
What?
None.
Listen to page 16, and if you inspect the sink, go to page 17. I'm going to inspect the sink, I think. Do you have any input?
I think that's a good idea.
Inspect the sink. Clink, clink, clink. That dripping faucet is so annoying, you can't concentrate on anything else. You turn to your right and feel for the sinks as you edge along the wall. When you reach them, you tighten the hot and cold water taps until the drip stops. The sink is filled with water. It appears that something is clogging the drain. Oh no. You probe it, and feel something soft and slimy. You pry it loose and squish it in your fingers. It's slightly sticky. You raise it to your nose and sniff tentatively. Chewed gum. Ew. With the obstruction removed, the water drains out of the sink, gurgling down the pipes. Add chewed gum to your inventory. Ew.
Trust me, it will come in handy very soon.
Okay.
If you follow the same path as me, I think.
13. Okay. So now we have to listen at the door or replace the light bulb. But you're in. Okay. What do you think?
What?
Replace the light bulb or listen at the door. I'm going to replace the light bulb. Hope I don't die. How many night watchmen does it take to change a light bulb? None. They refuse to do it because if they chase away the night, they're out of a job. You smile to yourself as you take a detour to retrieve a step stool and a new bulb from the maintenance closet. You often make up jokes in your head while you're working, and you can't wait to get home to inflict your latest creations on Capelia. She'll groan loudly and say affectionately, "Bad joke, Dad." You'll remind her that telling dad jokes is a mandatory requirement of all fathers, and you never shirk on your duty. The boring, real answer to the question, of course, 1. You finish twisting the new bulb inside the socket and say, "Let there be light," as it flickers on, casting the bathroom in its warm glow. You blink as your eyes adjust from the darkness. The white porcelain urinals and sinks are gleaming. This is the cleanest the bathroom will be all day. Once the restaurant opens and kids are unleashed to eat and play, this will quickly become one of the most disgusting rooms in the entire facility. 1 light down, 1 to go.
I don't know why I keep drinking water. My stomach already hurt while I want water out.
If you replace the second light bulb, if you listen at the door again, or if you inspect the sink again. What should we do, Austin? Help me.
I don't know. Maybe the sink.
For more treasure?
More wads of gum.
No, I think I'm gonna listen at the door again.
Good idea.
Your caution pays off. Ooh, okay. You hear footsteps outside moving much more quickly than Bonnie or Chica usually do, getting louder by the second. While you've been in the restroom, you haven't been keeping an eye on the Pirate Cove. Foxy must have left his attraction. You hope he didn't hear you working in here, but he does have big ears. They're among the few parts that still function on the tattered old animatronic. Yeah, he's on his way to the restroom right now, and you don't have much time before he gets to you.
The wadded gum will help you.
Alright. Barricade the door or hide in a stall.
I'm not telling you which one.
I'm gonna hide in a stall.
Good idea.
Hide hide! You have to hide! You can't fit in the maintenance closet. It's too small and crammed full of mops, buckets, and cleaning supplies. Your only option is to duck into one of the stalls and stand on the toilet, like you did that in elementary school when you needed to get away from the mean kids. Now that you think about it, maybe that's one of the reasons you became a security guard, so you could keep those who can't help themselves. So you could help those who can't help themselves. Of course, you imagine that you would be armed in order to protect and serve, but weapons of any kind aren't allowed at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Nothing kills a kid's party more than seeing someone with a taser hanging out of the corner, even if he is a good guy. You dash to the first bathroom stall to find that it's locked from the inside. It's secured with a simple slide bolt latch. You might be able to get it open if you had something thin enough to fit between the door and jam. So the question is, if you want to barricade the door, try the next stall over, or...
Try that.
I don't want to because I can see what's on the other page. That's cheating. But I don't have a paperclip, do I?
No, you don't. So try the other stall.
Oh, they're both dead ends. What the heck? You have to start with a paperclip? Are you kidding me?
Maybe you don't have to start it. I think you could find it somewhere. I don't know. Start again. Start it again. Start from the last checkpoint. Oh no!
Alright, so... Where do you want me to start?
I don't know. Might as well restart the night. You weren't that far. You already know what to do so far.
Okay, I inspect the sink instead of... 17.
Why won't Barney leave the door? Can Bonnie leave the door? What? Finally! Bonnie left the darn door.
Alright, here we go. So we're going to pretend we have a paperclip. That's what we're doing.
Okay.
We take the paperclip.
Imagination.
Well, I think... Well, anyways, we have a paperclip. It was in my purse, so I'm always prepared. You check your pockets for a paperclip you found earlier, and I got it! I straighten out the wire and bend one end of it up into a right angle. Foxy isn't the only one with the hook now. You insert your new makeshift tool between the door and frame and fiddle around. It takes you only a second to catch the knob of the bolt and slide the lock open. The door swings out toward you. You slip into the stall and pull the door closed. You don't believe this. The door won't stay shut. The slide bolt is jammed now. Oops, now you can't lock the door. What rotten luck. Foxy's footsteps are right outside the restroom.
Some certain thing will help you.
What now?
You might not think it will be helpful.
The chewed gum? Okay, I'm going to use the chewed gum on page 26. Hope it's not a trap, because I'm not doing it well.
When would I lie?
You pull the water chewed gum out from your pocket and take the lids off of it. Yuck, it's still soft and slightly tacky. You wedge it into the door lock, and the door stays closed. You sigh with relief and crouch on the toilet, tucking your feet under you out of view. The restroom door creaks open and bumps against the wall. Someone is there, waiting in the doorway. Waiting. Watching. Somehow you manage to remain perfectly still, and eventually, whoever it is leaves. If you open the door and look outside, turn to page 27. If you peek under the stall, turn to page 28.
I'm gonna need all the luck you can get me, Freddy Fazbear. Give me all the luck you have!
Quietly open the stall door and tiptoe to the door. The heavy footsteps are growing more distant. You take a quick look outside the restroom and see Foxy ambling through the dining area on his way back to Pirate Cove. You wipe a sleeve across your damp brow. Phew! That was close. Your fingers ache and twitch from holding the stall door closed. You're going to file a very stern complaint letter to the maintenance staff for leaving a stall door broken until the next shift. You check your watch. It's just after 4 a.m. and you still have a job to do. You stare up at the second broken light bulb. You're the only thing standing between me and home tonight, you say. So I'm talking to inanimate objects now and myself.
I can only pray to Scott Coffin.
You've been through a lot already. You're tempted to leave now, knowing that someone on the day shift will have to replace the bulb and fix that bathroom door if you don't. But like you said in one of your training videos for the restaurant, you can't spell team without M and E. After the bite of 87, you heard some of the staff twist that around you. You can't spell team without M-E-A-T. You didn't much appreciate that. People deal with tragedy and loss in their own ways, sometimes with humor. But hey, at least it shows that they were listening during the orientation. So if we replace the second light bulb, turn to page 30. If you look in the second bathroom stall, turn to page 31.
Freddy, please spare me.
You made it!
Freddy spared me.
Good job.
Let's go.
So, the close call with Freddy has you on edge, jumping at shadows and constantly glancing over your shoulder. You're pretty sure the second bathroom stall is empty, so why do you hear hoarse, garbled whispers coming from inside? You can't make out the words, but it sounds like someone is reciting poetry or a song or a children's line, or maybe it's a jingle from a TV commercial. Something stains, something remains. It probably is an ad for laundry detergent, but where is it coming from? You pull the door towards you slowly. Empty. Or not quite. A ballpoint pen is lying on the floor at the base of the toilet. You don't know how cleaning crew must have missed that, but you're definitely going to shove it in their face. You step in the stall and retrieve the pen. The door of the stall bumps closed behind you. Your pulse quickens as you imagine yourself being trapped in here, but you force yourself to turn around calmly. That's when you see the words written on the door in angry scribbles of ink. It's me. Weird. You'll have to leave a note for the crew to scrub that off first thing in the morning. And you'll be sure to suggest to management that they add no vandalism to the list of rules. You exit the stall and go to replace the second broken light bulb. Add ballpoint pen to your inventory. You replace the second light bulb even faster than the first. The later it gets, the more dangerous it is to be outside of the security office. You haven't been watching the cameras, but you have to assume that the animatronics are still walking around now. With the bathroom once again bright and cheerful, you can head back to safety, but getting there will be very unsafe. You return the step stool to the maintenance closet and dispose of the burned out light bulbs in the trash. You glimpse your reflection in the wide mirror. You look terrible. The light reveals deep shadows under your eyes. Transitioning from the day shift to the night shift is already starting to fatigue you, making you question what's real and what isn't. At least it's only for a week, and then you can rest as much as you want before diving back into your job search. A position is opening up for a security guard at your daughter's school, and you really hope you get it. But middle schoolers can't be just as difficult to handle as animatronics, but middle schoolers can be. In some ways, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy are just big, terrifying kids. You hope you don't run into any of them on your way back to the office. Better hurry, your shift is almost over. So if you leave the restroom right away, turn to page 32. If you listen at the door.
Are you logical?
I am, so I think I should listen at the door.
Good plan.
Okay.
Are you up?
Are you logical? I don't know. Okay. You're itching to get moving, but you press your ear to the bathroom door and listen. It sounds quiet out there. You grab the handle and are about to open the door when you glance down. Faint light from the dining area seeps in from under the door, but it's interrupted by two shadows. Those could be feet, you think. Really big feet. The moment stretches out for a long time. Your knuckles are white. You're gripping the door handle so tightly. But then the shadows are gone and you hear footsteps moving away. You've been breathing shallowly this whole time. Shallowly. Worried you'd be heard, so you take in a deep breath. It's now or never. You sneak back to the security office without encountering any more animatronics. By the time you get there, it's 5:45 a.m. Your shift is almost over. You check the cameras to your relief. Bonnie, Chica, and Freddy are all present on the stage, and the curtain is drawn at Pirates Cove. Previous night watchmen have reported the animatronics behaving strangely, but like everyone else, you dismiss their wild stories. Sometimes people fall asleep staring at the camera feeds, and they imagine things, bolstered by old rumors and stories. The mind can be a funny thing, making it hard to distinguish hallucinations from reality. Now you feel bad for not believing them, and you know that if you tell others about what happened tonight, they won't believe you either. Perhaps they would even discourage you from talking about what you've seen. You would never do anything that would harm Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. You put too much time in, so much of yourself into that job, and you're practically a part of yourself. You never pictured yourself leaving, but it seems like the best time to go, especially considering everything that happened tonight. There's 4 more shifts left. You can do this. So we can tidy up before the end of our shift, sit down and wait for 6 a.m., or if we have the bonus item, we may visit it on page 45. So what should we do?
I don't know.
Well, there's time that we need to clean, so we should probably tidy up. You start putting the security office back together. They should be the way it should be for the next shift. You toss all the garbage from the desk into the trash can. The sight of those food wrappers and soda cups sets your stomach growling. You haven't eaten in the last 6 hours. You clear out junk from the yellow lockers at the back of the room as well, including a 4-year-old packet of toaster pastries, that you choke down anyway because you're so hungry. Yum. You return to the desk. 5 minutes ago. You click through the cameras. The animatronics are still where they belong. Already the events of the night are starting to seem like just a bad dream. Your attention falls on the poster behind the TV. Celebrate, it implores in bright bubble letters above a group photo of Bonnie, Freddy, and Chica.
There we go.
These lovable characters couldn't be capable of the horrors you've just experienced, could they? Maybe you've just been misinterpreting everything. This place can have that effect on people, right? Even when it's late and you're tired, especially when it's late and you're tired and hungry and lonely. You stare at the image while moving your head from side to side. From some angles, it looks like there's a bulge in the paper. Before you can investigate, a red light starts blinking on the telephone. If you investigate the poster, if you check the phone...
Honestly, I want to know what happens on the phone. I didn't look at that in the first
If
playthrough.
you wait for the end of your shift. Okay.
Phone, try the phone. I want to see what happens.
The black office phone is dusty, but the handset is smudged. There are smaller smudges on the 1 and the 9 button. Someone has used it recently. Some people around here know you as the phone guy
Foxy!
because of your voice messages that are forwarded to new hires with reminders, tips, and encouraging words to support them during their orientation week. Ironically, you don't use the phone much yourself. You record the messages, and management schedules them to go out automatically. They've probably been using the same one for ages. Maybe you should update them before you go. 15 minutes, honestly. A faded scrap of paper taped to the phone has a handwritten list of extensions of various locations around the pizza place. Backstage, parts and service, dining area, party room 1, Pirate Cove. Another number is provided for voicemail. The red light continues blinking on the front of the phone. Someone has left you a message. If you call backstage, if you call home, or if you call voicemail.
I don't know.
Pick one.
I don't know what to do, actually.
I know, this is your adventure, though.
No, it's yours. You're the one reading.
Yeah, but you chose phone, so what would you like to do? I can call voicemail, right? But I've been
Yeah, sure.
Okay. 43. That blinking red light captures your attention. You don't remember whether it was there when you returned to the office or whether it appeared while you were tidying up. You assume it's an automated message sent by the system, but you can't quell your curiosity about it. You pick up the receiver and push the flashing red button, which automatically dials voicemail. Welcome to the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Answering Service. Please enter your 4-digit access code at the sound of the beep. Beep! If you have the 4-digit voicemail code, if you don't have the code, hang up and turn to page 40.
Hang up. We don't have it.
Wow, like where in the world? I don't know what we could, that's crazy. Okay,
Yeah.
You watch the clock on the desk and numbers slip over from 5:59 to 6 a.m. Yay, you survived your first night at Freddy's. All is quiet and you leave the security office.
I'm all the way on night 5 and you haven't even eaten night 1.
And pass through the restaurant. You step outside and take in the fresh, cool air, happy and grateful to be alive. Even in the early morning light seems too bright after the darkness of the pizza place. You lose all sense of time in there, since most of the windows are in different parts of the restaurant. There isn't a cloud in the sky. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. Too bad you'll have to sleep through most of it once you send Papillia off to school. And then it won't be long before you're back here for your second night. Who knows what that will bring? You look up the restaurant. You look up to the restaurant, wave goodbye to sleeping animatronics inside, and head home. Wow, that's the furthest I've ever gotten. Night 1. Alright. My voice is tired. Can we, pause the story for now?
Why?
I don't want to read anymore.
Okay.
Do you?
I mean, I kind of wanted to make this a whole read-through video.
Alright, I'll keep reading for a little bit longer. It's 10 o'clock though.
Well, if you have the right spirit, we can finish this book, Jess, then you can go to sleep.
Huh?
I'll stay up, though. I have to record the Sonic bit. Never mind. You know what I'm talking about, but
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know.
spoil the viewers.
I got it.
Totally has nothing to do with any CDs.
Do you want me to read one more chapter?
Sure.
Or do you want to leave it for tomorrow? I mean, later. Whatever. Okay. No, I'm going to take a small break. My voice is tired.
Okay.
So
So now I'm just kind of playing FNAF 1, I guess. Well, that's boring.
Well, I'll read a little bit more. That's why I lay down. I'm tired too.
I'm also tired, but we're making a video.
I know, but we're...
Night 2.
I know, but I...
Oh, yeah, right.
2:33.
Oh, no. Pretty fast, bear.
Okay. Not where I thought. Ready?
I guess, yeah.
As soon as you get home, you rush to your daughter's room and check on her. She's sleeping with her left leg sticking out from under the covers and a pillow over her face. You must have spaced out for a minute because the next thing you know, she screams and throws the pillow at your head. You catch it and hold it to your chest. What's wrong, you say? Why were you standing there and staring at me, she says. I was about to wake you up for school. I'm sorry. It's been a weird night. She pushes her hair back from her face. It's okay. It was just kind of creepy when I first woke up. I must have still been dreaming. You look like that Fredbear thing from your job. You mean Freddy Fazbear? Whatever, he weirds me out. They all do. She's never gotten over the time you brought her to work to meet the animatronics when she was 7, and they made her cry so hard she threw up her pizza and cake. She had nightmares for at least a week afterward. Never mind, it's just me, your loving Dad Bear. You open your arms for a hug. She squints at you. Please never say Dad Bear again. You feel bad about scaring her and ruining her morning. You don't want her to have bad memories of you like that. Gifts always make her feel better. If you give her the coin, turn to page 234. If you keep the coin. But like, what coin?
I don't know.
I don't know if we started at the right spot.
No, we did. We just didn't get a coin.
Okay, so I guess we keep the coin we don't have, right?
I guess.
36? Give her a magic invisible coin. Oh, this. Okay, I didn't start at the right spot. Alright, I'm just gonna take a break.
Okay.
You keep playing if you want, or pause it here. Whatever you want. Oh, you can't pause it in the middle.
Yeah.
You only have one more night?
Yeah, I guess. Darn it, Bonnie. Alright. Goodbye, folks. We're both tired, but I need to record another video. Anyway, goodbye, folks. I died. Goodbye.